special event today, as it always is here at Walding Field. This is our 30th year since 1991. Don Creali, the late Arthur Finkelstein, and Mr. Barrow, Edwin Barrow, have been kind enough to host this event. Not those 30 years continuously as people, but you know, as
we get it.
yeah, as women. Thank you. So obviously, really precious memories. So blessed to have had this venue to enjoy over the years. You've been so generous, it's amazing. Yes. And he's also been a patron, a subscriber, a leader of this hunt over the years. So Donald, thank you so much. I also want to thank my subscribers, who obviously are the core of what we do. Thank you, subscribers. We always want more. Some are not able to be here today, but again, thank you, subscribers, for carrying on this tradition. Thank you, hunt patrons, for your generosity, your ongoing generosity, and keeping us in your thoughts when you're feeling like you're a little flush. We can always use the help, so thank you so much, patrons. Thank you also as landowners. We have many landowners here today that, again, let us ride through their properties. And what a blessing it is as we go through. They open their gates, they bring in their horses, they allow us to share their properties, and it really is an amazing gift that we have, so we never want to take that for granted. And again, we also want to think about our stewardship as landowners, but also as people who have money to give to things like the trustees, and the Greenbelt and Essex County Trail Association. These organizations also are core to what we do, core to our mission and preservation of this wonderful land we enjoy. So please always think of those organizations when you come to when you think about your charities. I also want to thank my hunt committee, which behind the scenes, 12 months of the year, 18 hours a day it seems sometimes, are working to make sure this goes smoothly. Again, to keep landowners, patrons, subscribers, and all the people that help us do our job. So thank you very much, Hunt Committee. I also want to recognize Philip and Carly, who have been an amazing staff for us. Carly's laying the line. She's our fox, as she always is. Dedicated. Whip her in. And Philip, who does a great job. And then to the hounds, of course. When we think about hunting, we cannot forget about the hounds. We always get so tied up, getting our horses saddled and making them all fancy and making sure they're doing their job. But let's not forget about the hounds. The hounds are a critical part of what we have, a critical part of the tradition. We also have to be, watching the hounds as we hunt, but also as people in the audience here, if I can call you an audience, appreciate the hounds. They're just beautiful animals. Philip does an amazing job, and we're blessed to have such a lovely pack. So thank you, Philip, and thank you in absentia, Carly, for all the work you do. The only other thing I want to do before I hand it over is we're going to have a front field led by my co-master, Joint Master Wendy Wood, who does an amazing job. So thank you, Wendy. And I'll be taking the Hilltoppers. With that brief introduction, I'll turn it over to Mr. Curiali for some brief comments. Brief. No, I'm kidding. He said 20 minutes, so I was like, oh boy.
Well, first of all, I have so many thank yous, but before I get to the thank yous, I was asked to talk a little bit about Walding Field and how we happened to come here and arrive at Walding Field. And it was back in 1984 that Arthur and I arrived with the family to Walding Field. And one day we were standing in the library looking out towards the river, and we saw these gaggle of horses and people with red coats and black coats flying down the hill, jumping the stream and disappearing into the woods. And Arthur said, "Who the hell is that?" And I said, "I have no idea." And he said, "Well, you find out and you stop that immediately." He said, "They can't come on this property. It's private property. Who are they?" Well, it took me a year or so, and I had never been on a horse. So I went over to Jerry Kenny at Ascot and Robin Peterson and took some lessons. And 6 months later, Jerry gave me 2 old quarter horses, and they're Hogan and Orion, and they're both buried here in the paddock. And I rode with Myopia in the back. I was chaperoned. You were not allowed to go by yourself. You must be chaperoned. And Cirilla Thibault chaperoned me for 2 or 3 years. And she said, you never speak to anyone unless they speak to you. And there I sat for 3 or 4 years in the back of the field.
In silence.
And I hunted through the years with Neil Ayer, Russell Clark, Nori Wisa, Betty Ellis, Don Little, Ted Mean, Wendy,
Jim Cutler.
and Kim Cutler. Many, many different masters, but the hunt remains the same. And it's wonderful camaraderie and sportsmanship. And through the 90s, there was a magazine article in the Boston Magazine, and they did a little article on the myopia hunt. And they asked Don Little, and they said, Don, do you know there's a gay person in the hunt field? And he said, well, we tolerate him. Now remember, this is in the 90s, and that was quite an event to find out that someone was openly gay in the hunt field. Well, I figured, the hell with that, they're not going to just tolerate me, they're going to accept me. So I got involved with Susanna Colorado, and we did the Essex County Trail Association.
Yes,
Yay.
yes, yes. The
And
first
we
meeting,
meshed,
there were 12 people there.
right. And we meshed the Trail Association with Myopia. Without the two of them, I don't know how things would turn out. But through the years, I had such wonderful fun, 27 years of hunting. Look how happy he is. And I am so happy to be out today as my last hurrah to say goodbye to you all and to say goodbye to Waldingfield. It may be an end of an era, but it's an opening a new chapter for all of us. I want to thank Jenny Berryman for putting me on this horse today. I want to thank Dar and Rob Wilkinson for putting me on Mackenzie. I thank you. I want to thank Wendy and Nick for the tea, the hunt tea at 3:30 today. That's the purpose of the tent. And I want to thank them for doing that today. I think I thanked everyone. I hope I haven't left anyone out. Again, I might cry because I'm very emotional right now. I want to say in memoriam to Arthur Finkelstein, Molly, Julia Finkelstein, Baird Kelly, and my family. I want to say thank you. And for my cousins for coming up from Connecticut to be here representing the family. Thank you, everyone.
Don Trioli and Waldingfield. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Thank you, Donald.
You're welcome. Thank you. That was beautiful.
So I think that kind of concludes our formal remarks. Again, thank you very much for coming. As Donald rightly pointed out, we'll have our hunt tea at the close of the hunt around 3:30-ish. At the tent, there'll be refreshments and some light dinner or hors d'oeuvres. So please join us to the extent you have time and are willing to stay around or come back. So thank you very much, and we'll be off. Philip?
Oh yeah, from the club. And I played videos of other hunts.
Yep, that's what I'm going with.
And I'll play Myopia.